put it like that.
Nice.
What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
It was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coe! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
But how was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just say, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's just so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory! What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those. One of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house tonight. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Stunna bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Gruden, once he took over Rich McCann, was still like, well, look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then can I make us do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers, a wide receiver, Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers. You're tapped in, and here we go. Welcome into the Buccateers podcast. I'm your host, Tampa Tones. We'll be joined by the great Michael Plutz of Real Bucs Talk here in a jiff, talking Bucs jersey numbers, swap-o-rama. For those of you that have missed it, we have about 8 new jersey numbers to announce, so that is interesting. The Bucs decided to wake up and say, hey, if you have a jersey of mine, you might be at risk of needing a new one. So we're going to go over all that. Specifically, Emeka Egbuka is the big one, and I think a lot of people expected that with the dismissal of Kyle Trask. Additionally, McMillan and others have changed jersey numbers as well, and it's college football week 1. Had to wear my Penn State shirt, my Penn State cap. We got a great slate today as Christopher Cole's in the house. Bucs Rays Bolts in the house. We're going to have a great show talking all things Buccaneers, college football, and so much more. So don't go anywhere. Michael Plus should be here shortly. Joey Nips from Cleveland Me should be joining us shortly as well. And we'll see if we get any other of the Buccateers in the building. But we're going to go over some jersey number swapping now. For those unaware, a lot of the Bucs players decided to wake up and switch jerseys this morning. So we're going to see what happens with the jersey swaps. If you bought an Egbuka, if you could get your money back. If you have one of these other guys, you can maybe get your money back as Tez Johnson. Not that he'd have a ton out there, but he's a rookie as well. We're going to get into all the jersey swap. And now is our guy from Nebraska joining us, coming off a Cornhusker win. Mike Puckhead says, greeting, boys, greeting. Mike, we hope you're doing well, my friend. Congrats on the Nebraska opening day victory. That was a good one. A little too close for my blood, but hey, they got the job done. 1-0 is 1-0. So for those Bucs fans asking, what are the damn jersey number swaps already? Well, here they are. Connor Bazelak, quarterback, is switching from number 8 to number 16, occupied by Teddy Bridgewater. So some of you might be asking what's going to happen from Bridgewater, because remember, Bazelak had a switch as well, because he was already doubling up a number with Servachier Dennis. So he was wearing number 8 for the preseason. Number 8 was occupied already. He swapped out number 8 he had to. So, he went to number 16. As we're joined by the great Michael Pless of Real Bucs Talk this morning. Michael, we're going over jersey number swaps. I got a headache to keep track of all this stuff, but it was a wild, it was a wild morning. Igbuka, I need a new jersey now, man. My number 9 is now no good.
Yeah, I didn't hear you at first. Thing was loading, but yeah, Bucca changing numbers. I think that was kind of expected, but yeah, I hope the jersey works out. Hopefully everything gets sorted there. So hopefully the Buccaneers do the right thing and give you guys new jerseys.
If not, well, at least I got a rare one, right? This happens to me too often, I feel like, with all my teams. I remember I got a Bulls Patrick Williams when he was a rookie. He switched numbers like a month into the season. Now Igbuka, it's happening to me. But, hey, it's the nature of the beast if you buy a rookie's jersey, I guess, that early in the game. So this should be a little eye-opening. But on top of him, plus, Bazelak changed because he was doubled up with Servachier Dennis at number 8. And now 16's open, so he went to 16. Bridgewater went from 16 to 10. Tez Johnson went from 83 to 15. That might be the only other jersey that people, not a lot, but maybe some people bought a Tez Johnson already. And, maybe they'll swap it for you. Josh Williams from 37 to 18. Riley Dixon from 92 to 9. And you're crap out of luck if you have a McMillan because he was a rookie last year. So McMillan's presumably changing from 15 to 11. But plus, what are your thoughts on all the jersey number changes? Do you think, obviously, some were expected? Do you think it's not a big deal? Do you think it's cool? What are your feelings on
it? Yeah, I mean, I understand it because, you have player cuts. So, jerseys become available and, all the receivers basically going back to their college numbers, which I think is cool. McMillan going back to his college number. Same thing with Emeka and Tez Johnson. So, yeah, I don't think it's surprising. I mean, it's not really a shocker. I know some were upset about the punter change as far as 92 to 9. 92 would have been cool, but I look at it as, number 9 for Buccaneers punter history has been pretty good. You had Tom Tupa, Josh Bidwell, Michael Kanan. So there's history there. And I think he's still going to be a good punter for us regardless of the number. I don't think the number has anything to really do with how a player does. So
I agree with you completely. And, Igbuka seems to have an attraction to number 2. I already seen him post that he was fired up on Instagram this morning. So maybe that fires him up a little bit that he gets his number 2 back over there. Cleveland Me says, good morning, gents. Football is fully back. There we go. Yes, Cleveland Me, Joey Nips will be joining shortly here as well, I believe, in a handful of minutes. But plus, we're about 8 days away, as crazy as that sounds, from Buccaneer football. We're 4 or 5 days away from NFL football. We have a game Friday night. There's going to be games popping off left and right next weekend. So what are you looking out for most for maybe, just the Bucs' sake, obviously? Playing in a hard stadium last year, we didn't win that one, but to me, the refs still missed a face mask. The Bucs still should have put that game away, not blaming the refs, but that all kind of correlates together to a upsetting Thursday night loss. We have a chance at redemption week 1. I like this game week 1. I like the opportunity to go out there and throw a punch. What say you?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm first of all, I want to say super excited that football is back. It's awesome. Awesome time. College football today is going to be nuts.
How about
It's already,
USF the other day too?
yeah, USF, my alma mater. I should probably have USF gear on, but my family is Gator fans, and I grew up a Gator fan, so representing the Gators today. But yeah, USF next week, that's going to be a good game. USF and Florida, I think that's going to be exciting to see if they can compete. With that caliber of a team. It was great that they, blew the doors off of both.
We'll see if we get Plus back. I think we have some technical difficulties on his end. Let's see what's going on.
Is my Wi-Fi going out?
No, you're back now.
Okay,
I was like, man, either he's frozen or he's playing a good trick on me. But next week, USF Florida is fun.
Yeah.
But what a grueling schedule. I'm pretty sure I read that USF has 3 straight ranked opponents to start their season: Boise State, Florida, and then I forget the third, but I think it was 3 consecutive weeks for them. Kudos to them.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was a great win. Again, Bryce or Bynum, I'm sorry, it's Bynum, right? Bynum Brown.
Yeah, Byron Brown, he's gonna be awesome, man.
Yeah, I think he's that's the key for him, and he really showed that he's the key for their team. Kind of go. So I think that's important.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Plus, and J-Lo, if we have you here, how the hell are you doing? Better late than never, bruv. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, and we're talking about college football, the lay of the land this week. The Fighting Anthony Gators got a big win last night. I know it was against Bethune-Cookman, but good to see. What are your thoughts on the landscape of college football as we're burrowing into week 1 here, so to speak?
I mean, so far it's been really entertaining. USF got a big win the other night, blowing out Boise State. Very impressive victory. And then some of the other games going on, so many close ones. Nebraska pulling out a close win. For the most part, it's been exciting, and now we're here on Saturday.
Yeah, and we're here on Saturday, loaded slate. First time ever in a week 1 of college football. We get 3 top 10 matchups on our hands, so that's going to be incredible. You get Clemson, LSU, you get Notre Dame, Miami, you get Texas, Ohio State. Plus, I know Real Bucs Talk loves their draft film, loves breaking down the draft, the film, the prospects for all that good stuff. When you're watching these games this early on in the football season, well, if you want to try leaving and coming back, feel free. But
yeah, I wanted to see if I can refresh the feed here. It looks like I keep going in and out, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll ask J-Lo the same. We'll be right back with Michael Plus of Real Bucs Talk. But J-Lo, I'll ask you the same thing. I know you're a college football guy. You're a big NFL draft guy. You have bad feedback with your mic right now. I could hear myself. So I'm going to mute you until you talk. But you're a big college guy. You're a big draft guy. What say you when you're watching these games this early on in the year? How does that prepare you for the NFL draft later on, like the Bucs? What are you looking out for in these prospects early?
Well, I'm looking out for consistency, as far as, the type of, defensive, offensive players. Of course, quarterback's always the first topic. It's the most important, spot when it comes to the NFL is QBs. But then, of course, we, looking at defensive players or all-around players, to me, you want to look at some of the ones that are pretty popular right now that get talked about and stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part. So, to me, I feel this is a good opportunity to learn some of the new people that don't get talked about in those smaller college games that we're so into. And once they show up or not show up, to me, I feel that's the important part. You want to look at those early guys on certain teams, especially the small schools that Jason Light really likes to look into.
Yeah, the Humboldts, all those good schools, right? The lesser known, the North Dakota States of the world, especially for offensive linemen, Central Michigan's with Luke Gedicke. So you never know where Light might be honing in on. Plus, what say you as a film guy, as a fan of the draft, as a fan of breaking down these prospects, when it's this early on in the college football season? Yes, you have the big names and the notables and hopefuls that should be quote unquote round 1 projections for the following year's draft, but it's a long season. A lot of people come up along the way, drop off along the way. What are you kind of looking out for early on as a draft guy, or is it truly too early to try and latch on to some of these gents?
Yeah, I mean, you can. I have to do a better job of this, but you can get like, you can look at like the top 50 lists. You can look at, some of the guys that are projected to be first rounders next year. But when it's all said and done, so many weeks go by. These are going to change. Certain players are going to come out of nowhere. Some players are going to, rise. So I think as someone that prepares for next year's draft, you kind of just got to take it in small increments, kind of narrow your focus, make sure you're not too broad as far as your scope. So really what I try to do is just look at one person, maybe a couple people throughout that day of college football, and just get a read on them. Other than that, you're just trying to narrow down certain guys. And mainly for me, I'm mainly looking at future Bucs positions of needs, like pass rush, corners, all those things are going to be on the top of my list. Linebacker play is going to be another one. So yeah, I would just say try to narrow down what you're looking at, and then just keep it on that track.
I agree there, and that's I kind of have my guys I'm keeping eyes on early, and then you always get the names and the fluff along. Oh, wow, that highlight looked intriguing. Or, oh, wow, that's some good potential you get there. Or you're just watching a game and you completely see somebody getting manhandled on the line, and it's like, we'll have to look into that lineman. But it's exciting times, man, and people don't realize how fast the season goes by. So you've really got to buckle in and enjoy it and take it week to week. I mean, if you want to put it in a football aspect breakdown, we've already had 3 weeks of NFL preseason, and we're kind of on week 2 of college football. So we've already had football back damn near for 5 weeks now, which is kind of hard to imagine and hard to believe within itself. So crazy times right now, awesome times I should add in, but really looking forward to seeing college and NFL mesh up, because like I said, it's rapid kickoff, right? They're kind of playing opposites here. We got college on Sunday and Monday this week. We got NFL on Thursday and Friday next week. We got college on Friday and Saturday next week. It's a great time to buckle up and be a football fan, but just enjoy it, because before you know it, truly will be gone. Quickly now, we're going to do our Bucs record predictions and how far we have them going for the season, as it looks like J-Lo's finally come to life. It looks like we maybe have cats here. So we have some guys in the house for the Buccateers to predict some Bucs records, it's looking like, for this season. We'll see what happens. J-Lo, you want to give us your record and how far you have this team going, my friend?
Yes. I say 11-6. I think that is probably the obvious record to me because of the injuries of Chris Godwin, Tristan Wirfs. Might be a little rough start, or maybe at a 500 start. So to me, 11-6. I believe in this team. I think they can definitely lock up the 3, if not best case scenario 4 seed, but definitely will win the division.
And how far you see this team going?
I say NFC Championship. I really do. I think they'll actually, win a couple of big games from wild card to divisional to NFC Championship game. And I think they come up short.
We got the great John Hederman in the house, friend of the programs. How the hell we doing, Johnny boy? My guy's getting married soon. Congrats to you. Can't wait for that wedding in Nebraska in about 9 months, 10 months, I think it is. So we'll see what the hell's going on over there. But the great John Hederman in the house tuned in. Pretty good stuff there. Plus, Bucs record prediction, and how far do you have these fellas going? It's tough to say, but 11-6 sounds decent right now. But what say you?
Yeah, I have them right there, 11-6 as well, I think. So I think, that should be the minimum for this team, given the roster talent. We have some feedback there.
Yeah, I think I think I got it. Cats, I think your mic is giving some feedback, so I had to put you on mute for now, but keep going, plus.
Okay. Yeah. So 11-6, and I think divisional round is the minimum. I think they make it to the second round of the playoffs. So I'll just leave it at that. I think it's going to be 11-6 and at least the divisional round.
I like that 11-6 divisional round. So we got two 11-6 predictions. We got two playoff appearances, obviously. You know what? I'm an optimist, man. I'm a glass half full guy. Let's go. I'm going 12-5, and we're winning the Super Bowl. That's how I see it. Boom. Ripping the Band-Aid off. The Bucs will be hoisting the Lombardi. J-Lo, don't come at me with that LDE ever again. I'm going to call you little ball J-Lo over there moving forward. So really thought you'd have him at least going a little bit farther, but no, I'm kidding. You have him going far. It is what it is. I'm just going to predict him to win it all, because when they do, then I could rewind to this episode and be like, see me back then, I said that, man. I said they'll win it all. So hey, here we go. You're hearing it right now. I'm saying 12-5 Super Bowl champs. So
I hope you're right, Tone. I hope you prove us wrong. Really, I really do. I hope you're 100% right, man. I'm all for it.
well, I mean, sometimes you're a fan, sometimes you're an optimist, but I really think they built this team to address a lot of their weaknesses in depth specifically. I mean, look at the wide receivers, right? You're already dealing with a couple of the top guys banged up, and they're still not in dire shape, right? I mean, you still have a very respectable wide receiver room. So pretty incredible to be able to supplant the depth that the Buccaneers have on that field, at least in my opinion. I mean, time will tell to see if it holds up or not. Cats, what say you on the Bucs record and how far you see them going, brother?
11-6 as well. I might have added an extra win if not for some of the injury issues that they're having. But then again, I'm seeing so many negative people out there. My goodness, it's really sad to read some comments from our own fan base. This is an 11-win team. I think, regarding the playoffs at the end, this is hard for a lot of fans, I think, in sports in general, but especially in football, I think, to reconcile with is, in the end, the healthiest team usually wins. I don't think there's a lot of separation between the Bucs and the Eagles and even Green Bay. I know they got Micah. I think these teams are all in the same boat. I think they're very, similar talent-wise. So who's going to be the healthiest team at the end? I don't know. But at the very minimum, I see them in the divisional round. And I'll again say, with health, I think they have a great chance to go a lot further than that. I know I kind of danced around it, but that's me being honest as to how I see it playing out. I think they're better equipped than a year ago. If you're looking at the last, those last 10 spots on the roster, the depth is a lot better. The secondary depth certainly is better. They're, gosh, I'm getting long-winded. I apologize. To handle a probable Jamel Dean injury at some point, they're better equipped to handle that. So anyway, yeah, I do see them at 11 wins.
Cats, I think that's a great point. That's what I like about this Bucs team as well. The depth they built, you could survive that, right? Last year, no offense to some of the defensive backs that jumped in when we had some injuries, but my Lord, it did not look great out there. Now it seems like this roster, you get a Benjamin Morrison healthy. Parrish is in the mix now. I know they got a lot of bodies back there, even their practice squad. You get a guy like Hall back on the practice squad. Todd Bowles said it in his press conference a couple days ago. Hey, look at last year, the veterans. They started with Sterling Shepard on the practice squad last year. They started with C.J. Brewer on the practice squad last year. Those are guys that ended up playing meaningful snaps. So you never know when you might have to dip into the practice squad as well. And I like some of the things they've done on their practice squad. Additionally, Joey, how the hell you doing? Happy college football week 1. Thoughts on the Bucs this year? Where do you see them record-wise, and how far you see them going?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Happy Lee Corso Day. I'll be rocking the headgear for a lot today because not so fast, my friends, when it comes to predicting the Bucs. I'm going to go 11 wins like you.
Bittersweet, right? Because it is about time, but he is a man. But it's time. It's time.
Oh, it's time. But the tribute, I've been making some jokes at him for a couple of years now, but seeing the tribute videos And he's 17-0 when he picked USC. He was undefeated in game day picks in 1999. I mean, this guy was truly the first hot take guy before hot takes were a thing. He just spoke his mind. So getting to the Bucs.
It was cool to see what Southwest did for him too. Did you see that video?
Yes, I did.
They flew him out Southwest, and the one guy who, I forget what they call the person that scans the boarding passes and tickets and all that stuff, but when Lee Corso's was called, he made like a 3-minute speech about Lee Corso flying Southwest all these years, being a great guy. So just cool that he's getting recognized. But yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No, I mean, to even just add to that, Ohio State was his most attended stadium. So he's been at this terminal with the same guy who's been scanning the boarding passes for over 20 years. So that was even, I mean, when that happens there and they got everybody to stand up and applaud, just shows how far his fandom has gone. But yeah, no, Bucs wise, I don't want to be a broken record with the 11 wins, but I've thought this way for quite some time now. And I think Katz hit it right on the head. If you look at the NFC, people are saying, oh, it's a big, bad conference. I think there's a lot of pretty good teams in the NFC, but I don't think there's anybody outside of the Eagles, of course, because they are the defending champs, that just could possibly be slashing people. And even the Eagles have had their struggles many a times across the past few seasons. So I see the Bucs getting 11 wins. Sorry, the rest of the division, I just don't see it. Look at the quarterbacks. To me, it's that simple when it comes down to the Bucs division. It really does. If Baker can stay healthy. And then as far as they go, I'm just kind of sick of the first round playoff game where you guys have like the hardest team each year. So hopefully that streak ends. Like it's always that Monday night or Sunday game where you guys have like the best wild card team that comes into Tampa. Hopefully that ends this year. I think the Bucs get to the NFC Championship game, and who they lose to, I'm not sure yet. I'll do that in my picks next week, but I think the Bucs make it to the NFC Championship.
Better Mayfield. Ugh, man, I love Bake. I think he's gonna. That Popeyes commercial is just the best, man. And you have Sisimoles saying Laser Mayfield MVP, and then is Igbukka going to get over 1,000 yards his rookie season? Real quick, Joey plus Cats, J-Lo all 11-6. Joey NFC Championship plus divisional round, Cats divisional round, J-Lo NFC Championship. Tones 12-5 with the Super Bowl. So we'll see who the hell is the last man standing when it's all said and done. No, I love it all. Plus, I'll give you this one. Igbukka going over 1,000 yards his rookie season.
Probably say no. I think he gets probably somewhere in like the 700, 800 yard range. Because I think once Godwin returns, you're going to have like, there's only one football. So it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how like the distribution goes. But with that said, Igbukka is going to be open quite often. So I think he'll get his fair share of targets, touchdowns, and yards.
And that I love it, man. This new chatter is my guy Matt in Nebraska as well. So this is a great Matt behind an OG name. So we got a lot of OGs in the house today, but I'd probably agree. Plus, it's going to be a little tricky to get there. So big time Chiefs fan in the house asking if Laser Mayfield could be the MVP. J-Lo, thoughts on that? We'll give you that one. J-Lo?
No, I'm here. I had to my mic on. I think he can. Truthfully, I really think Mayfield could win the MVP. With the roster he has, the targets, everything coming together. And we all saw how Baker Mayfield made, wide receiver 4 and 5 look like number ones when Mike and Chris were out last year. If he just cuts down on the turnovers, which I think he will, I could definitely see him in the MVP conversation, at least at best.
Yeah, and PFF did their rankings yesterday. They had a couple analyzers such as Trevor Sikkema predict what would be the MVP. They had a couple other people. 3 picked Joe Burrow and 1 picked Baker Mayfield, the great Tampa Bay Trey, of course, holding down the fort, throwing up the Baker Mayfield jersey. Cats, before we get to the Colts corner, some Colts talk, as Pop's texting into the show. So he says, show getting run over by Cornhuskers. Hey, that's a good thing. We'll welcome the Nebraska natives. Come on. We always talk our Cornhusker ball. The more the merrier, and I love corn, so bring me some corn. That would be awesome. Dip it in the butter, put the salt on it, put the little, man, I could go for a corn on the cob right now. But Cats, Zach Beesline being brought in is a big help, Bud Cannibalist says. For those unfamiliar, Beesline is here to help with timeouts, Todd Bowles clock management, kind of behind the scenes things to get Todd Bowles to make better quote unquote in-game decisions, right? So Katz, what are your thoughts on hiring him? And in preseason, have you saw anything that might have shown that helped, or what are you looking forward to with that hiring of, hey, maybe this will help Bowles a little bit?
Well, it's a great hire to hire someone in that capacity, and I think you got to give Todd Bowles some credit too, because I've heard so many people say he's stubborn, this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. He was willing to go out and get someone to help him, and basically admitting it's an area of weakness for him. I thought the way they handled the end of the Pittsburgh game, making sure they ran the whole clock out, kicked the field goal with no time left, that was well done. Maybe that could have happened anyway. But those are the types of situations in a regular season game that you want to see. You want to see them be able to, perhaps, like that Dallas game, some people were upset that at the end of the first half they took a timeout rather than let the clock run down and would have prevented Dallas from getting the ball back. Little things like that, because Dallas kicked a field goal, as it turned out. Just for example, you'd like to eliminate those, maybe, save some points here and there. So I think it's great that they hired him. And again, I give Todd Bowles a lot of credit for not telling them, no, I'm good, for actually admitting that it's something he needs some help with. And truth be told, a lot of head coaches need help with it. It's not easy. It's easy for us to all sit here and say, should have done this, should have done that. But when you're actually down there and the bullets are flying and everything, you got two people in your headset and all that, it's not so easy.
Yeah, it is. You're 100% right on that, Katz. And, the pressure's crunching, time's ticking. You're not knowing what the hell to do, what instincts to trust. Sometimes it's nice just to have that breath of fresh air. Bucs 78 in the house. Let's fucking bang, fire the damn cannons. Go Bucs, go Bucs, go Bucs. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, Bucs 78. We do appreciate that. Speaking of 78, Tristan Wirfs, number 78, was named as a top 10 Buck of all time. We'll get into the top 10 list more on Tuesday when we're back here talking all things Bucs, and we'll see if they got it right or if there's a little debate to be had about that. We're going to briefly talk about some Colts talk here in the Colts corner. Joey, Colts named their captains. Two things stood out to me. One, I kind of like the approach they took of having lesser captains. I think if you overflood the captain population, that it's the point of a captain to not have a lot of them, right? So I think the number of captains the Colts came out with, I think it was 4 to 5-ish, was right on the head. And then number two, Daniel Jones getting voted by the team, becoming a captain. That's rare. A lot of times first-year QBs, whether it's rookies or veterans, don't really get the nod to be the captain, right? Baker didn't here in year one, so it'll be interesting to see. Or actually, he did. I'm sorry. Baker did, I believe, in year one. But regardless, it's still a tough task for any quarterback to go into a new place and get called on as a captain. Doesn't happen often. Two cool things there with the Colts.
Yeah, and somebody brought it out earlier with the public view with comments about the Bucs and stuff, and we've been doing that for years between our two teams. For some reason, I don't know if it's because we're smaller market teams or what, but any chance to hate, people are going to hate. If you look at Daniel Jones, when you're in a shit situation, sometimes you're going to fucking be mixed into that shit, okay? So for all the haters out there who are just saying this 28-year-old is done, don't forget in 2022, he led them to a playoffs and a victory in the playoffs. Yes, last year was bad. They had a bad offensive line and a lot of problems more outside of that. I'm not saying it's going to work and he'll come back to life and be the Sam Darnold, which I'm hoping for, like the resurgence he had in Minnesota last year. But I will say it's time to give the guy a chance, and the consistency he brings to the locker room every day. When your players vote on you as a captain, they don't do that for no reason. He clearly has leadership in that room. He's brought a sense of urgency to bring other players up, and I love Anthony Richardson, but maybe that's something he was a little bit lacking. He has all the skill, we know that, but the play-to-play, the changing from out of blitz to in blitz pickups, that's what Daniel Jones seems to be taken by the head. And with Shane Steichen leading the way, who has led Gardner Minshew to a good season 2 years ago when he was with this team that got him paid in Oakland, but then he kind of went downhill. I think the Colts have the most weapons they've ever had. And you also added Tyler Warren. You got a healthy Jonathan Taylor. You got a healthy Michael Pittman, Josh Downs. I mean, there's a lot of things here. So there's a lot of hate about my team right now. And that's fine because, hey, guess what? You got to win at the end of the day in this league. And the Colts have not done playoff winning in quite some time. So it's time for this year to be it. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of people looking for a job. But I'm really looking forward to this Colts season. We'll be going week 2, home against Denver. And if this lawnmower don't get out of the damn yard behind me, just like Army yesterday.
What do you got going on over there? You're getting mowed down.
I'm in a townhome. This guy's cutting his grass. It sounds like he's in my damn yard. I'm about to yell, go back to the other side.
Well, oh boy, before you get evicted or something, we'll get your Colts record prediction. Don't yell out the window just yet. We need you a couple more minutes here. But no, it's all fair stuff. And that when Baker I was right, he was a captain 2023. But what the Bucs did, they waited until a couple weeks into the season to name their captains that year, if you guys remember. So it was interesting to see that approach. You never know what some teams might do, but yeah, Baker was one in 2023, not right off the bat. But hey, here we are, Colts looking for similar hopes and dreams with Daniel Jones, and we'll see. I like how they improved their weapons this year. I truly do. I still would love them to get one more premium target. I think that would be very nice. I don't think you could ever have too many targets, right? Like, look, the Bucs had Godwin and Evans, and they drafted Igbuka in round 1 this year. I think the Colts stockpile up, just get one more hands guy. But I still think they win their division this year and potentially make some noise. We'll see what the hell happens. Joey, how do you have them playing out record-wise, and how far you see them going?
Yeah, the AFC South kind of stinks. We all know that, right? Even though Tennessee has a new quarterback, and there might be some promise there, that's a new year right there. So they're off the bat. Jacksonville, Duval. Ever since that comment, I'm already thinking under 500 at best for a team led by that choke job. And then you look at Houston. Houston's the big one. The offensive line is very shaky. They've been trying to mix this thing up for a couple of years. CJ Stroud, yes, he's the best quarterback in the division. But outside of Nico Collins, you have a hurt Joe Mixon. Nick Chubb will be there, but he was also coming off injury. So it's a little bit interesting to me. I'm going to go Colts 10-7 and take the South. Sometimes you got to be the tallest midget, and I think the Colts need to do that this season, because if we don't, the GM and head coach could be looking for new places. But I really do think we have the most talented team in the AFC South this season.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle-tested division. I'll put it like that. It should be a good competitive division amongst themselves. It reminds
the ball to Tyler Warren. That's all I got to say. I have fantasy, so please get him the targets.
Plus, how do you see this Colts team shaking out in your eyes?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Like Joey said, I think the AFC South is wide open. I think, obviously Houston, they have probably the best defense in that division, really good defense.
Yep.
The Colts, I think, are talented. They have more, arsenal there. I think the depth is good, but we'll see. I think it'll be interesting. Jacksonville, again, another sleeper team. It just depends on how Trevor Lawrence plays. I think their offense is going to be better. So I think those 3 teams right there will be in the mix. But yeah, it really just depends on who's the consistent quarterback, and that's why I probably lean more towards CJ Stroud. I think they're going to figure it out. But again, their offensive line is kind of messy. So yeah, if Daniel Jones can be consistent and not turn the ball over, I think they'll have a good chance.
Yeah, and isn't that that's how crazy football is, right? Just a year ago, Daniel Jones getting ridden off by the Giants. Now here we are. He gets named a team captain, and people are talking about his possible comeback story. And
Right.
Trevor Lawrence just a couple of years ago is heralded as the next up and coming great quarterback. And now here he is. Maybe, hey, if he has a down year, will they be looking at a different quarterback come a year or 2 from now? So just crazy to show how quick the landscape changes. I do agree to leave the Titans out of the conversation. I just don't think their roster is ready to compete yet. They do have some intriguing pieces over there, but I don't think I think Cam Ward's going to kind of have the Jameis Winston rookie type up and down season where, hey, You will see some flashes of good play, but you're going to get a good amount of turnovers. You're going to get a good amount of growing pains. I just personally see Titans maxing out at 5 to 6 wins, and I kind of see the Jaguars, Colts, and Texans all in that 8 to 10 win range, clawing each other, fighting for that top spot like kind of like the Falcons and Bucs and Saints a couple of years ago, when they all kept, just hanging around, hovering around. I kind of feel like that'll be the AFC South.
Yeah, hopefully the Bucs can help the Colts out by beating the Texans in week 2. I'll be there for that game, so I'm hoping can snag a victory on Monday night.
That'll be awesome because that game, I'm sure scarred you all a couple years ago, even me, because I was rooting for you guys. I think they got a field goal or touchdown in like 37 seconds. So the revenge game. This is revenge here.
Yeah, we got 2 revenge games to start the year, so hopefully take advantage of it.
You see, before we get to J-Lo and Cats on the Colts quickly, before we move on to college football, it's laughable when you see a guy like Bijan Robinson, who is a hell of a running back. Or I'm sorry now he's saying his name pronounced differently or something. That's another funny thing too. It's like, bro, if you waited 2 years until you're in the league, you should have came out with this name change years ago. I'm just calling you Bijan now, thanks. But Bijan Robinson, it's like, and also, we love playing the Buccaneers. It's like, who the hell are you? First of all, like, you won because a ref missed a face mask call on Thursday Night Football last year, and that we choked that game away. Kudos to you. The Bucs had that game. The second game, the Bucs were so damn banged up, we still hung in that game. If we have a weapon or two, we probably kick your ass too. So, hey, if that's how the Falcons view us, I love it personally. Let him have that fire and let Michael Penix get a little taste of the 813 when he comes back home. Let's just put it like that. I do like the kid, but hey, Raheem Morris, to me, he's an unproven head coach. Hell of a coordinator. Not sold on that guy as a head coach, and I think the Falcons finish in 3rd this year partly because of him. But J-Lo, Colts talk, what say you, my friend? Sorry to get sidetracked. Got a little bricked up over there about those Bijan comments.
No, not at all, man. I totally agree, man. Who the hell is that guy? To me, he's a nobody. I don't care what everybody else says. If he's available on fantasy, I ain't taking him. I don't care. That's how much I don't.
Well, he'll be gone probably when you pick anyway, so you don't have to worry about that.
Anyway, but back to the Colts. I do agree with Joey and Plus very well. I think the division is wide open. It's up for grabs. But to me, I think the Colts got the best shot when it comes to competing with Houston for the division. I do believe in Daniel Jones. I think he can go out there and make it happen. 22 he did with a bad New York team. So, I do agree with that. To me, I feel the Colts got a very good defense, like Plus mentioned. They do a very consistent defense. And Tyler Warren, I drafted him in fantasy last night, I'm sorry.
Last year, wow.
You were ahead of that one, ahead of the curve.
I know my mistake. I'm saying last night I took him, so that tells you how tired I am for the most part. But with the Colts, I think they can definitely make a wild card appearance, just because Houston, I feel, will get a little up on them, truthfully. But I do see a wild card out of the Colts. I say a 10-7 record. I give him 10 wins because I think Daniel Jones is going to be healthy all year. I think he can get the Colts to the wild card round. That's where I see the Colts at, which to me is an improvement from the last couple of seasons, if Joey agrees with me on that one or not.
My hot take is Tyler Warren will become the first rookie tight end in NFL history to throw a touchdown, run for a touchdown, and catch a touchdown throughout the season. He's that good. I mean, when you watch him at Penn State last year, it was, my God, I'm going to miss him today out there, man. I mean, this kid went up and got everything you threw his way. He lined up at quarterback. He made some throws, obviously not the prettiest of throws, but he's more than capable of at least running a goal line form where you sneak a dude out in a wheel route and it'll hit him. He's going to be a stud at the next level, man. The Colts got a good one, and I truly believe if you play a 3-man offense between Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, and Tyler Warren, you could pretty much have all the success you need right there. Nothing against their receivers, but if you keep it between those three, right, Plus, you agree?
No, I was just going to say Michael Pittman as well. Like I think what it does is opens the floor up for him.
And he should be healthy this year too.
that's going to be the key for the Colts. I think health, because Jonathan Taylor is one that, they can lean on it and run behind him. I think that's going to be important to get the run game going. Daniel Jones, take the pressure off him, use the play action pass, stuff like that, keep the RPO involved. And yeah, it should be good. It's going to come down to, that group staying healthy. And then on defense, especially the secondary, I think the secondary's got to stay healthy with, Travarius Ward, I think, coming in. That's a big pickup. So
it truly is, and they made a couple other secondary moves, release of Juju Brents, bringing in Bynum from the Vikings. Now they're bringing in a couple of guys to work out. We'll see what happens. As Bud says, I was a bit shocked to see Loveland went before Warren. Yeah, we were all watching the draft together. We had a Bears fan over as well, and he was like, what the hell? Why'd we do that? He was like a little tweaking out. So Atlanta will be in third place. Agreed, Christopher Cole. Cats, wrap up our Colts talk for us here, brother. What are your thoughts on them for the year?
This is what I was thinking. I was going to say, if they can keep Jonathan Taylor upright and healthy and run the football effectively, then they can be successful on offense using that, simple, it's an old-fashioned formula, but that simple formula, not make Daniel Jones have to do everything himself. So I see them in the 8 to 9 win range. Not sure if that's enough to win that division or not. Obviously, Houston's the favorite, but they're not without their flaws. Jacksonville, Slimy Liam is there. I'm sure the offense will be better with him. But and like you mentioned, Tennessee's probably, obviously at least a year away, maybe more, given the state of their roster. But the Colts will be in the mix. I do believe that. I think they'll be right in the mix between that 8 to 10 wins, and whether it's enough to win the division depends on how they do against the other teams in the division, really, because I think the three are pretty bunched together.
Hey, it's all about being in the mix. Get me to Christmas time where you still have hope that you want presents under the tree, because I'm still getting gifts at 33 years old. So damn it, give me one more and give me a playoff appearance, please. It's all about being in the mix.
That used to be during the lost decade of Bucs football. Someone would say, what's your hope for the season? I'd say, I just hope that we're on Fox's In the Hunt graphic in December. I was like, I'm lowering the bar. I'm putting the bar really low here, folks. I just want to be on their little graphic, which almost everybody would get in, but we would somehow be out of it by October. So, yeah, that was always my thing. About the Falcons, I didn't know he changed his name and the pronunciation. His comments, it didn't sound like he was being overtly disrespectful, but he was still being disrespectful. Remember, there was, if there only were a goal line cam available for games that aren't called by the 18, and I thought I heard that they're putting them in now everywhere, or did I mishear that?
No, that's true. They're putting them in every stadium now.
Every game, see, as it should be, because the NFL can afford just about anything else. Yeah. Had they had one there in that game, it's probably ruled a fumble, and who knows, that changes the whole trajectory of that game. So right. Falcons get a lot of breaks against us last year. They got us when we were, down Mike and Chris for the first week off the short week. They are getting a break now. We're a little more injured than they are, although McGarry's a big loss for them, and Storm Norton was out too. So, they're not completely healthy either. But I guess I'll save this. My hate for the Falcons. We'll save it for Tuesday night, I guess.
Hey, we're gonna cook the birds, baby. Let's do it. Pop's texting. Good to see the Buccateers, and plus think the Colts can make a run at the division. Slimy Liam. So interesting stuff there. And last night I was watching a game, and actually Appalachian State pulled a Kyle Pitts. The guy made a hell of a catch. He went up and got it. And the wide receiver started showboating early a little bit, slow down. And the Charlotte defender just comes up on the 1-inch line, poop, peanut punches the ball out. It literally looked identical to the Kyle Pitts type thing and everything. And you could even tell college football has a little bit better goal line cameras these days than what the Bucs had equipped last year. So I feel like everybody's kind of preparing, hey, the younger these kids get, the more hot dog head they get too. And, we're seeing more and more of these type plays. I mean, Joey, a little bit different, but happened with Colts and Jonathan Taylor last year as well, when he kind of just, that one, he really wasn't celebrating. He kind of just dropped or slipped the football out a little early there too, even though we thought he crossed. But nonetheless, the goal line cams will help prevent incidents like that as well.
Those are the most depressing plays when you're on the negative side of it, especially when what pisses me more off than anything else about these TV networks and the review, it's like they come back from a commercial and they're just moved on to the next drive. And it's like you barely get any replays. It's like, no. We're the fans sitting at home buying your YouTube TV package, Direct TV, whatever NFL's on. And we're sitting there. Give us the replays at the goal line. You see in the preseason now, it takes them like 10 minutes to load up the computer for the chain gang instead of the chain gang going out there. Give us an actual good view. Don't lie to us. Even if they make the wrong call, show us what's actually there. Because like Kat said, this league has way too much money to not be getting things fully correct. And when you lose a play like that on the goal line, that ripped the heart and soul out of the Colts that game we lost. It happens to other teams when it's a negative effect. I'm not saying it always goes in the wrong direction, but it's like a coin flip, and we can do much better than that. It truly can ruin some games.
Well, between the TV camera angles getting better this year at the goal line and the first down technology, it finally seems like the NFL's putting in the effort at least. It's like, thank gosh, Roger Goodell, you're only you're only $1 billion organization. It's not like you could afford it. But anyways, interesting times ahead. 2025 NFL season, 8 days away. 8 days away, 7 sleeps away, I believe. Maybe 8. I don't know how the hell that works with math, but 8 days away, 7 or 8 sleeps away, whatever the hell it might be. But nonetheless, NFL football is right around the corner, and college football is here, and we're going to go over the biggest games of today, the biggest games of the weekend right here, right now. We got a loaded slate on our hands. It's incredible. This is the first time ever. And again, I don't take too much into rankings right now because it's like throwing darts at a board, but for the first time ever, we do have 3 top 10 ranking matchups in week 1 of a college football season. Again, rankings are a little scarce, but does that include naps? Naps,
For sleeps,
Yeah, I didn't think if it includes naps or not, but naps, sleeps, and they're substitutable. So, it's like a spread. Put +3 naps in there, bud. Do that. 7 sleeps and +3 naps will factor you in there. So there you go. +3 naps will factor into the sleeping pattern. Good. I like where your head's at, though. Thanks for pointing that out. But spread them time. Spread them if you got them. It's time for our college football spreads. And remember, when we pick NFL games, it's no spread. When we do college, it is Bud's taking the over. Okay, there you go. So Bud's taking over 3 naps. He's going to have 4 before this season. Joey, we're starting with you here. 24-ranked Tennessee travels to Syracuse at noon. Syracuse is a 14-point underdog at home.
Yeah, just like next week when J-Lo shows up, talk about spreading them. We're getting right to it here, and I'm going to take Syracuse at home.
What the hell is? Oh my Lord!
I try to keep it. You know how they tell you to keep a straight face when you say something funny, or it's probably not funny. I screw that up every time because I couldn't even keep it in for that one. So sorry for all the people that had to lose 30 seconds of their life right there. But anyways, give me Syracuse at home. I don't know. This early in the college season, I feel like home field is much bigger than it is at the end of the season when these teams come a lot more together. The transfer portal screws up a lot of things, and I don't really know enough about any team right now. So give me the home team, Syracuse.
Yep, Mr. H asking if your socks are on, making sure you're all.
Be careful what you wish for, Mike.
Oh,
careful
boy.
what you wish for.
I don't know what's going on between you two, but moving on here, J-Lo. Ball State traveling to Purdue noon Eastern. Purdue's -17 at home. What do you think of that one, my friend?
I'm going to go with Purdue. I'll stick with the spread as well. I think Purdue will win big home against Ball State.
Plus, one of the games of the day. And we're all going to go around here and give what we think. It's a pick-em now in Vegas. Number 1 ranked Texas travels to number 3 ranked Ohio State at noon Eastern.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Just looking at Ohio State and seeing their quarterback is redshirt freshman. So even though they're at home, I think Texas gets this one. I think they have the better team. So I think Texas is going to pull away.
Cats, thoughts on Texas, Ohio State?
I'll piggyback on that, given the Ohio's quarterback situation. Obviously, tough is the road team, but I'll take Texas in that one as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ohio State, obviously, no more Will Howard there. No more couple big-time edge rushers there. Igbuka's gone. A lot of premier players are gone. Yeah, Texas suffered that wrath a little bit, but they got a guy by the name of Arch Manning, whose grandpa, whose father, whose uncle, whose other uncle, whose uncle's brother was all NFL players at some point in time. This guy is prepped for this moment. Ryan Day is going to shit his pants because for every big win he gets, he shits his pants the next. So give me Texas going into Ohio State's house and saying, not so fast, Ryan Day. Good night. What say you, Joey?
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Peyton Manning as much as I did or Eli, they weren't, speedsters out there, right? Even with the socks on. So those two guys didn't have the wheels, but Grandpa did. He could run a little bit there for those who bring it back a little. And Cooper, I mean, I was playing the video game this morning with Arch Manning, the new NCAA. He's an 87 speed. I don't think Peyton or Eli reached above 65 speed overall. And I think they were even in the 50s, in fact. So expect to see some lightning. And Ryan Day said, hey, my team's fired up. This is the most fights I had to break up all of training camp and preseason. Yeah, I don't care about that. That doesn't really speak many volumes. Hook 'em horns with my two little guys, my finger pops. Hook 'em horns. Go Texas.
Whoa, look at those. They're probably
Bring a little wrestling in the picture.
Little sticky wrestling figures. Love it. J-Lo, what say you on the close us out for Ohio State, Texas? Is our guy Mike Martinez from Big Rican on Sports is stopping by to say go Bucs on Ohio State game day. J-Lo, are you going with the Bucs or are you going with Texas?
I'm going to go with Texas. I think it'll be a close one. I think Ohio State will show up and give Texas a great game at home. But to me, Arch Manning, I feel like this is his time. I think he's going to have a good game. Might be a little rusty at first, but I like Texas on the road, beating Ohio State, and that's what mumbling. Anyway, Texas wins. I had them beating Ohio State. Ohio State.
12:45 Eastern, Toledo, Kentucky. Kentucky -10. Give me Toledo with that spread. I think Toledo's going to hang tough in there. I think Toledo's going to be one of the better teams to watch in the MAC this year. The beautiful land we call the MACtion. I think Toledo ends up winning the MAC, and I don't know if they beat Kentucky necessarily, but I think they hang in there pretty damn good, and I think they bruise them up at least. Give me Toledo +10 as Olive joins. Hey, fellas, how the hell you doing, Olive? We love our lady listeners. Welcome in to the program. Next game up, Joey, Old Dominion at Indiana. 20th ranked Indiana is -23.
Yeah, Indiana's coming off obviously their best season in my lifetime, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not the 90s, but since 2000 at least. And they have a great coach. They have a new quarterback this year, just like Ohio State does, just like Notre Dame does. A lot of quarterbacks change teams, go to the NFL, etc. But against Old Dominion, I think they blow them out of the water in their home stadium. I look for Indiana to win by 30+ today.
Okay, there you have it. That's a big win. Plus, number 8 ranked Alabama going to Florida State to take on the Seminoles. Florida State +14.5 at home. What say you on Florida State being 2 touchdown plus underdogs at home against number 8 ranked Alabama at 3:30 Eastern?
Yeah, I got Alabama. I mean, obviously with the shirt I have on, I can't pick FSU. So roll Tide. I think they come in and show who they are. And I think physicality on the lines is going to be the big difference. I think they're just going to be too tough for Florida State to compete with.
Real quick shout out to my boy Ben DiNucci, former NFL QB, still a free agent. One of my first interviews I've ever done way back when he was a draft prospect. He'll be on the call today for Air Force Bucknell. He's making his broadcast debut, the great Ben DiNucci. He's sticking around at quarterback too if the phone calls him, but the Falcons just cut him. We'll see if it's the end of the line, but tip of the cap to you, Ben DiNucci, if it is, brother. Hell of a ride for you. Thanks for letting me be your first interview. That was my first show that ever got over 5,000 views, I remember, because right when he got drafted. All the Cowboys fans swarmed to that show, so that was pretty cool stuff back in the day. The damn guys I used to affiliate with took their channel down, though, so all those damn videos are gone. But what can you do? J-Lo, South Dakota, taking on 22-ranked Iowa State. Rocco Beck coming off a big win across the pond in Europe, 3:30 Eastern. Iowa State, 16.5-point favorites. Do they cover?
Absolutely. It'll be a big win at home. After they stay hot, after being across the pond, give me Iowa State winning big at home.
ACATS, number 5 ranked Georgia, one of the powerhouses led by Kirby Smart. They're about 38-point favorites home against Marshall. Do you think Georgia has their way with Marshall?
They'll definitely have their way with. They're going to have their way with them. But call me crazy. I'll take Marshall to cover that.
I like it. And we see Marshall keep it close against Ohio State last year. Not really close, but cover, I should say. So, hey, maybe they'll cover here again. It's week 1. You never know what the hell might happen. We're all going to do this one. Joey, you start here. Number 2 ranked Nittany Lions in the country take on Nevada. 42.5-point spread. Penn State's given 42.5 against Nevada, 3:30 Eastern. Joey, what say you?
Penn State's going to win, but I'm kind of thinking maybe they don't cover because this game could be close for about a quarter, and then Penn State ends up winning like 48-10 or something like that. So give me Penn State by 30+, but I don't know about 40+.
And not to look ahead, but some fun matchups for the show next week. You got South Florida against Florida. You got the Fight and Anthony Gators of FIU against Penn State. So you have a couple of really fun games to get your hands on next week for the show purpose, especially J-Lo, Penn State dropping 42.5. Do they cover by 43?
I kind of agree with Joey. I think it'll be a little rusty in the first quarter, but then Penn State runs away with it, ends up covering, I think.
Plus, what say you? Does Penn State dominate this one, or do they struggle out of the gates a little bit against a team like Nevada?
Yeah, Penn State wins big. I think they cover.
Cats, cover, no cover, 43-point win or not?
You know what? I'm gonna say that Nevada covers. Who knows? Maybe one of those backdoor covers or something. But yeah, it's a big number. I'll give Nevada I'll go with Nevada on that.
It is a big line. And one thing I like, at least Penn State's playing a bowl-eligible team, right? They're not playing like Tarleton State like Army did and lost yesterday. Well, that was sad. But, hey, at least they're playing a bowl-eligible team. Give me the Nittany Lions to cover, damn it. I'm not biased or anything. Don't worry about it.
I'm shocked.
But give me them to – no, I will say this. I'm picking them to cover because it's out of the goodness of my heart. But they usually – don't cover these biggest spreads. I'll put it like that. They usually don't, but we'll see if they do today. Moving on. J-Lo, Montana State traveling to 7-ranked Oregon. Oregon's minus 27 points. Do they cover?
Yeah, they cover. I like them at home covering that.
All righty. That was short and sweet. Moving
Pretty
on
much
here.
on that one.
No, I like it. Mr. Plus, we'll move on to you. Let's see another worthy game to talk about here. Taking a minute to get to. Hey, number 15 ranked Florida Plus laying 46 points at home against Long Island University. Todd Bowles' son plays for Long Island University.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Todd Bowles, but Gators going to win big here.
Todd Bowles, he'll definitely.
First day I heard of that university was today.
Todd Bowles' son actually plays there too, so kind of cool. He'll be in attendance there. Maybe not a great thing for him, but we'll see how that does. Joey, North Dakota plus 25.5, traveling to Kansas State, 17th ranked Kansas State in the country, minus 25.5.
Yeah, Kansas State had to travel across the nation last week. They had to get the jitters out. There was a lot of turnovers in that fun-filled game. Good football played in the second half. I think Kansas State at home really turns it on and blows out North Dakota and sends them packing.
Oh, Christopher Cole saying Gators lose next week, J-Lo. Wow.
I'll get into that next week. Right now, I'm focused on Long Island. I'm not worried about USF till next week, so we'll discuss that next week. Bill Belichick quote.
Oh wow! Getting shut down right there. Cats, what say you? Number 9 ranked LSU, number 4 ranked Clemson. One of the biggest games of the day, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. There, Brian Kelly and LSU taking on Dabo Swinney and Clemson. What say you? Oh, my bad. You were muted. What happened, Cat? Sorry.
What's the line on this one?
It is 4 point. Clemson's -4.
Yeah, I'll take Clemson in this game. Give me Clemson -4, and I also want to add out a shout out to USF for that awesome win on Thursday and Coach Golech and the boys for an outstanding opening performance. First win over ranked, I think it was since 2015, maybe, I don't remember, but got to give USF a shout out for that.
Yeah, Golech coached a hell of a game too. That fake punt call and everything, that was just a master class. So Mike G from Nebraska in the house too. Another Cornhusker in the house.
They must have a watch party with a lot of socks of corn going on over there.
We love it. We love it. We love it. All the corn in the world. I'll take the Battle of Texas, UTSA, and number 19th ranked Texas A&M at 7 o'clock Eastern. Texas A&M -23. I'll take Texas A&M laying the 23. I think UTSA is usually a pretty good little fighting squad over there. They got the McCown nephew, the ascending McCown prodigy over there, but I think Texas A&M does what it takes to win that one. Moving on here, we still got a couple more games to go. J-Lo, number 23 ranked Texas Tech, takes on Arkansas Pine Bluff. Texas Tech is laying 53.5 points in that one.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to lay into that. Definitely. Texas Tech all over them.
I like that. Plus, New Mexico is getting 35 points at 14th ranked Michigan. That game kicks off 7:30 Eastern over there.
Yeah, I'll go with Michigan. I got the opportunity to go to a Michigan game last year, so I'll go with Michigan.
Georgia State at number 21 ranked Ole Miss at 7:45 Eastern. Joey, Ole Miss -34.5 there.
Yeah, I mean, Lane Kiffin's an asshole. He'll probably be up 33 and throw a fake punt touchdown to cover. So give me Ole Miss and the baby blue.
Wow, there we go. There we have it. Ole Miss bouncing out of the gate with a W. Mr. A-Cats, you got Cal at Oregon State, West Coast battle, 10:30 Eastern in a pick'em. No spread on that one. You going with Cal or Oregon State?
Go with Oregon State on that one. I don't have any logic behind it, but in a toss-up game, give me Oregon State.
I love it. And they're home, right? So that's always a good thing as well when you're the home team in a toss-up game. I'll go with the next one, 10 o'clock Eastern, Northern Arizona at number 11 ranked Arizona State. Arizona State -32. Give me Arizona State laying the 32 points. I just think it's a pretty fairly even matchup for them being this early in the year. Joey, 1-0 Hawaii, coming off the huge win against Frank Reich and Andrew Luck-led Stanford team. Hawaii's +16.5 at Arizona, 10:30 Eastern.
Yeah, I mean, this game's on TNT, so it's big time when you're on the basketball channel for a football game. Give me Hawaii to barely cover in this one. Arizona, I don't really see anything overly special about them. I know they're the big favorite, but I'll take Hawaii in a loss but a cover.
J-Lo, Utah at UCLA, 11 o'clock Eastern tonight. UCLA home underdogs +5.5.
And they're going to stay underdogs. Utah wins over UCLA.
Oh, wow. Plus, number 13th ranked South Carolina tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern. They're -8 at home against Virginia Tech. That's a fun little 3 o'clock Sunday day game, or afternoon game, I should say, while the NFL takes a break.
Yeah, I got South Carolina, but in a close one. I think it's going to be pretty close battle.
We're all going to do this big one next. Tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, one of the biggest matchups of the weekend. Number 6 ranked Notre Dame at number 10 ranked Miami. They call this the Catholics versus the convicts in this one. You know, you got Notre Dame against Miami, ready to take them gloves off and go to war over there. Joey, you're the Notre Dame guys, 7:30 Eastern tomorrow. Notre Dame -3. You think they're covering?
Oh, absolutely. And you know why? Just like Carson Beck fumbled his relationship with social media pics.
Poor guy.
He's going to fumble the ball in this game a couple of times, and the Notre Dame defense is going to take over. If you all remember, great Lloyd Carr, coach of Michigan, his son is now the quarterback for Notre Dame this year, and it's definitely going to be an adjustment. I think we will struggle offensively at times in this game, but we'll put the chain gang to sleep. It will be not your most entertaining, high-scoring game. I think Notre Dame wins something like 20-17. And, we get a big one on the road because week one, if you lose that, you pretty much have to be perfect, even though I know the playoff has expanded. But it's really tough in this league to have 2+ losses and get to the playoff unless you're Bama, who could have like 4 or 5, it seems. But, give me Notre Dame in a close one by a field goal.
So you got a push there. You got a push in terms of spread there because they're -3, so you don't got them covering it.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it at a push.
Yep, that's a tough one. Mr. H says Notre Dame by 5. J-Lo thoughts, and quickly, J-Lo, where can the people find your Florida Gators takes and analysis? You barely mentioned your new show online or on here, buddy. It's time to get going on that. Give a plug to your show.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Tones. It's called Campus Kickoff that we have launched the last 2 shows. It's been great. Had a lot of fun. Gator Baits, that's one of the newest add-ons we added on the most recent show, breaking down one of the player to watch on the Florida Gators, and I picked Eugene Wilson. The guy is talent. He was injured last year mostly, but this year he's healthy, ready to go. I think he's going to be wide receiver 1 on Florida this season.
Yeah, and Notre Dame, Miami prediction. Notre Dame -3.
Yeah, give me Notre Dame in a close one. I don't buy Carson Beck's hype. He's not that good. Florida made an example of him last year until he got a boo-boo, went out. And then, so give me Notre Dame winning big. I say 28-24 over the Miami Convict Hurricanes.
Plus, do you see Carson Beck as more of a Bo Nix situation, or do you see Carson Beck as more of a transfer situation that kind of just flounders? And where do you see this one going?
Yeah, I don't think Carson Beck's very good. So I think Notre Dame wins. They have the better defense. I think the better overall team. So especially with their running back, Jeremiah Love, I expect him to have a really good game, take over. They'll keep the ball on the ground with him and, play smart field position game, defense. And I think Notre Dame wins.
I agree with you there, Cats. Take us home, Notre Dame, Miami. What say you?
Yeah, give me Notre Dame to win and to cover.
Love it, love it. Last but not least on our pick'em, we're all going to do this one in honor of the GOAT. Bill Belichick makes his much-anticipated return. Monday Night Football. Uncle Bill on ESPN, 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm all bricked up for this one. I'm going to put a lot on the big guy, and we'll see if that works out or not. But North Carolina at home getting 3.5. First of all, give me Notre Dame to cover tonight to 3. And give me Big Bill to not only cover plus 3.5, but to win outright at home Monday Night Football. I know they're not starting Brad Johnson's kid. They're going with the younger option. But, hey, you never know what might happen, how that might unfold. I'm trusting Bill Belichick. One thing he's always known pretty damn well is quarterbacks. Look at what he got out of Mac Jones, and look at how bad Mac Jones really is. So I really do think Bill Belichick shows a little bit of his genius here at North Carolina, and they're able to escape with an opening night W. J-Lo, what say you?
No, I agree. I think Bill Belichick's going to have a hell of a start. I think he will win big at home. Gio Lopez, I believe, was picked to be the quarterback. He was a transfer from South Alabama, and he had pretty good stats. So give me North Carolina. Bill Belichick's first win on primetime on Monday night.
And it doesn't mean we might not see Johnson, right? You just never know how that plays out. And we had Brad Johnson on the Buccateers earlier this summer. He said Bill Belichick is doing all the right things in North Carolina and don't listen to the noise, the media, all that. in North Carolina is loving life behind closed doors. And that's a man with 2 sons on the team, right? So I think he has a little bit of good insight on how the locker room feels. Plus, thoughts on North Carolina TCU and the return of the GOAT, Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I'm looking at North Carolina's depth chart here real quick, and all I see is across the board it's transfer down the road. Yeah, I think they'll do well Monday and beat TCU. So yeah, give me the Tar Heels.
Cats take us home with the Belichick against TCU, Texas Christian University. Horned Frogs, 8 o'clock Eastern Monday night.
Yeah, I don't see Bill Belichick losing in his opener, especially at home. Give me North Carolina.
Joey?
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget about my big head over here. Let me say this not so fast to the North Carolina people. To win this game, they're going to have to score more points than the age of his girlfriend. That's not going to happen in this game. Give me TCU and Josh Hoover big over North Carolina.
Wow, big. That's a bold statement.
10
right
plus.
There. Yeah, I'm going North Carolina win by 15 plus. So
okay.
We'll go with, a little bit of chess and chess there, my friend.
This ain't chess. Put up them dukes, brother.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we're sticky hands. Put those things down, bro.
Dude, come on now. Don't start that way on a Saturday.
Yep, just keep your hands where we can see them. But moving on here, got a couple more things to talk about on the Buccateers. We will be back Tuesday previewing Falcons Bucks on our Tune Me Up Tuesday show, 6 o'clock Eastern, all bricked up over there for that. We'll be back again with J-Lo's Campus Kickoff coming up next week. Got a lot of good games to discuss over there. Got to work on getting the word out a little more about that, but we're getting there. Joey, towing the line. That'll be a lot of fun. A little bit of a football short pack show between J-Lo and Joey. They're going to bring you 10 to 15-minute college and NFL shows throughout the duration of the season. If you're a college or NFL guy, go on the lookout for those. And then once a month, me and Katz will be taking a deep dive on Mondays into the history of Tampa sports, the Rays, the Lightning, other things, Buccaneers, obviously. So going to be a lot of fun. And then Zach Johnson and I, 2 Mondays a month as well, we'll be doing Man Cave memorabilia discussion, collectible discussion, just a lot of good things happening here on the program, here on the Buccateers. So those are kind of a behind-the-look scenes, a little bit of a sneak peek at some of the things we're working on. J-Lo gets his Campus Kickoff College show. Joey gets his Towing the Line NFL show. Katz and I will be with you for the history of the 813 sports. And then Zach and I are doing our thing with memorabilia. And on top of all that, you get us every Tuesday and every Saturday. So you're going to be either loving us or sick of us by the time the Super Bowl comes, and there will be no in between there. But we appreciate all the listens, starting to help us get some ad revenue on YouTube. So good stuff, man. We appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody watching the program, the super chats, the regular chats, the subscribers, the memberships. It's all awesome. Before we get to our breadwinners and final words, fellas, time to predict those NCAA football champions of the 2025-2026 season. J-Lo, don't pick UNLV because they're 2-0. I know you might go there with Dan Mullen over there, old Florida coach. If you want to pick them, you can. But
no. No. So of course, as much of a Gator fan I am, they're not going to be my pick to win the national championship. Unfortunately, I think they're going to improve. But anyway, give me tough one. Let me go with Texas. I think Texas. I think Arch Manning's going to get it done. I think he'll get them over the hump and they win a national championship. That's my pick. Give me Texas.
In the heart of Texas. Plus, where are you going? Are you agreeing with Arch Manning and co? And that's the only way I think he does declare for the draft this year. If they win it all, he has nothing left in college, and then he'll be gone. But plus, what say you on who you got?
Yeah, I actually like Clemson this year. I think quarterback wise, I think they have one of the best quarterbacks in the nation in Club Nick. I think their defense is going to be really good with Pierre Woods leading the way. So I got Clemson.
I love the Clemson pick. I love Club Nick, and I love Dabo Sweeney. And the cool thing about an expanded playoffs, I'm not saying the lesser teams all have huge chances, but no team's eliminated now week 1, right? Like even the UNLVs of the world, the Sam Houston, not saying they would, but if they were to run the table by some miracle, they'll find themselves in the playoffs too. So that's what I like about the expanded college football season. Truly every team gets a deserving chance. And, when you have 4 teams, even if you go undefeated like a Tulane or a Toledo, you would never sniff the playoffs. Now, last year, you see SMU get in, you see Boise State get in. You're going to see some of these other teams get a fair share as well. So, very exciting times. Cats, who you got winning it all in 2025 college football?
I've got to piggyback on what J-Lo said. I'm going to go with Texas and Arch Manning as well.
I like that pick right there. Joey, thoughts? Who you got?
I'm between 2 teams. Part of me wants to piggyback the Clemson pick just because then we can make it 2-2 here. But I'm between Penn State. Could I make my brother happy? I do like to piss him off. I like veteran QBs, right? And kind of mentioned it with Klubnik. Drew Aller has improved each season he's been in NCAA. Look at his completion percentage and his yards. He did lose a big target in Warren, which scares me a little bit. But both of those defenses, as Plus mentioned with Clemson, and then, of course, Penn State always good on that side of the ball. So I'm in a coin flip situation between them both. And, man, I'm going to go with I was going to say which coach I like better. I'm not a big fan. I'll go with Penn State. I know Tones probably will too, but I think this is finally their time. They lost a close one with Notre Dame last year. Tone says I got a lucky victory. I said I got a hard-nosed victory. Depends how you look at it. But Penn State comes through. And, yeah, the Drew Aller leads them to the national championship.
Well, first, I said Penn State had more talent, which is true in that game. They had a couple first-round picks. You had Warren. You had Abdul Carter, so obviously the talent was there. They just didn't solidify the big plays when they needed him. We'll see if Drew Aller could rebound this year, but that is exactly why I like Penn State as well. For everything you mentioned, it's not often you lose a guy like Abdul Carter, but you might get an even better playmaker out of that, right? When you get a guy like LeVar Arrington Jr. in the mix. So I'm excited to see how he kind of folds in down the road. That's going to be a lot of fun. Penn State always gets in these young cats, these young kids, these new guys who take over a linebacker, take over a tight end. I know Ty Warren's gone, but by the time this year's over, you're going to be hearing a lot about their new up-and-coming tight ends. That just seems how it goes with the Nittany Lions year after year. They always have the tight ends. They always have the linebackers and whatnot. And again, Drew out. This is their year. Both of their star running backs are back. They had very good years last year. Both of these cats, they both returned. Some might thought they would go to the draft. Some might thought they would transfer. Nope, both are back, which is very key for them. Both of them were 5-star recruits, and last year both of them were 1,000-yard go-getters over there. So very excited that Katron Allen, Nicholas Singleton are back. Drew Aller looking to build off of his performance from a season ago. And as I said, Khalil Dinkins, the tight end, you don't know of him a lot right now, but by the time the year is done, the redshirt senior might make a difference. Same with the Luke Reynolds type. So we'll see. I think this Penn State team has an uphill battle to face in the Big Ten. You get the Oregons, you get the Ohio States of the world, so it's not going to be easy. But I think being battle-tested throughout the year is a really good thing, and I think this is the year for Penn State. So we got J-Lo and Cats with Texas. We got Plus with Clemson, and we got Joey and myself with Penn State. We got Puckhead with Texas beating Notre Dame in the final game. There you go. So a couple different people there, a couple different opinions there. And now we got breadwinner and final word time for the program. We were going to try and squeeze in Pigskin Hot Potato, but holy moly, what a fun show. No time for that. We'll save that for next Saturday for the NFL anyway. Get it really going. As the NFL topics are died down a little bit right now, the week before the year, you kind of had the big news this week with the roster cuts. We honestly got lucky with all this jersey number foolery. One more time, we'll run through the new jersey numbers before we get to our breadwinners and final word for the program. But if you're a Bucs fan just joining us, it was jersey numbers swap-o-rama this morning for the Bucs. You woke up, you looked at the depth chart, and you looked around a little bit and thought, what the hell? Greg Allman had an epic tweet too. Our guy Cigar Man said, "Damn, I really love the idea of a punter using 92." Greg Allman said, "It was fun. I'm happy I can still chronicle his rise up the NFL all-time tackles by punter list." So Greg Allman is the man, friend of the programs. But some new numbers for the Bucs once again. Connor Basilick changing from number 8 to number 16. Jalen McMillan from number 15 to 11. Riley Dixon from 92 to 9. Josh Williams from 37 to 18. Teddy Bridgewater from 16 to 10. Tez Johnson from 83 to 15. If those of you bought a Tez jersey, inquire Fanatics about it. And Emeka Egbuka from 9 to number 2. Inquire with Fanatics if you'd like to see that swapped out as well. But a lot of crazy scenarios early in the morning for this, just crazy stuff going on. But
and Toad, speaking of your shirt and for the Packers fan, did Michael Parsons officially choose his number for Green Bay?
He did.
Yeah, I believe he's number 2.
Number 1.
Or number 1, right? He was between 0, 1, and 2, and he went with number 1.
So Jerry Jones is 0 and Parsons is 1. That's what I'm going to say on that.
I don't know if you could kind of see it, but here's a little. I know it's a Photoshop type, but he was between 0, 1, and 2 because number 11 was taken by Jaden Reed, and he was like, I don't want to take his number, so he just chopped off one of the ones, and he stuck with number 1, and I think that is an amazing pickup for the Packers. Real quick, I got I got a funny guy on Twitter because I tweeted, "Hey, what's going to happen with the Bucca if you did buy a number 9 jersey?" And in my profile picture, I have Trask number 2 on. The smart ass said, "Just iron his name on the back of your old Trask jersey." It's like, yeah, well, no, duh, but can't really do that professionally over here. I could get tape and all that stuff, but yeah, Curly Lambeau, last number 1 wearer for the Packers, and it's time for Breadwinner's final words of the program. Let's win you some money. We're going to win you some money today. Going into today, we are 10-3 on the season, plus $125. So pretty good stuff there. 10-3 plus 125. We started fire out of the gate. Last week we hit all of them. So time for Breadwinners to see where we go. And I'll start with my breadwinner out of the gate. Got a little bit of a money line parlay action for the beloved people. Let me pull it up here. Kent State and Purdue money line parlay. Kent State of the MAC is facing Merrimack, and Purdue is facing Ball State. And I got both of those straight up in a money line environment. And a $20 bet on that would win you $13. So give me Kent State, Purdue moneyline parlay to kick off week 1 college football season is my breadwinner. By the way, Kent State, your helmets today are awesome. For those that haven't seen it, they're like little, I'll pull them up while we discuss breadwinners here. But J-Lo, who's your breadwinner, my friend?
Give me Mississippi State Bulldogs on the spread against Southern Miss Golden Eagles. I believe it's negative 14.5. So give me Mississippi State on the spread.
Mississippi State spread. I like that. Yeah, Southern Miss usually struggles, though. One of the bottom teams in college football. Look at those helmets by Kent State, though. Are those not badass right there? Ooh, it's hard to see a little bit, but just love the bird holding the football. Bricks me up with the helmet on a little bit. Plus, I don't know if you want to dip into any bets or recommendations or just give a final word for the show, brother, but it was an honor to go to battle with you on our first Saturday Showdown weekend to kick off football show, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a great time talking with you all. Appreciate the invite as always. As far as like pick'ems, I would just not listen to me. Listen to Tones, listen to everyone else here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to football season. I'm glad it's back. I'm glad, Buccaneers football is less than a week away. So yeah, looking forward to, fun times this year. It's going to be a good year for the sports and football. I hope everyone enjoys. I'm actually going to be checking out Jaws later today. I'm going to see it in theaters.
Wow.
So Yeah, so getting a little break from football from the 3:30 action, but I'll be back at it for the night games that are going to be pretty cool to watch.
That'll be a fun one. Jaws is always awesome, man. So
apparently it's in IMAX, so I'm going to see it in IMAX, so it'll be cool.
that'll be really cool. Enjoy that. That you'll have to let us know how that is. I'd be interested to see that too. So great stuff. Cats, final word. Any breadwinner pick or just a final word, my friend?
On the money line.
You're good now. You're good. What did you say?
Yeah, give me a Alabama money line against FSU.
I love that. Cats giving the Bama money line. And any last word for you, brother Cats? Hope you enjoy your weekend as well.
Again, congrats to the Bulls on getting an opening win, and fuck the Falcons.
There we go. Fuck the ATL Falcons right there. And congrats to USF on the win. Joey, take us home with the breadwinner and final word, brother. So far, we have Kent State and Purdue moneyline parlay, Mississippi State Bulldogs spread, Bama moneyline. Are you going to stick with college football as well?
Absolutely. I'm going to go to the great Hoosier State where I talked about Indiana a little bit earlier. Old Dominion is more known for their trucking company than their college. Give me Indiana by 30-plus points to run it at home.
Yeah, that's not a bad bet. And any final word, bruv?
Yeah, I mean, fuck the Falcons, fuck J-Lo. Let's get some great Saturday and Sunday business up in here. No, I love it all. I'm hyped up. I'm bricked up. It's going to be a great day. Honor Lee Corso. I can't wait to see in the next half hour what hard hat he puts on, whether it's going to be the Hook'em Horns or it's going to be Mr. Buckeye like he originated with his first appearance in 1986.
Well, we'll see if he even knows, but awesome tribute for Lee Corso.
Jesus!
No, not a bad thing. I'm just saying the helmet's been a little floppy on him the past couple of years. It's not a knock on him. It's just you never know. But hey, Myron, I know if you're listening, we have a fantasy football draft tonight at the Areola Compound live. Going to be incredible. You could clip this and put it in the video like you always do. I know you wanted to get on the show, but didn't have time for you. Maybe next week. Other than that, looking forward to our live fantasy football draft later. Going to be awesome. Pizza, beer, a lot of good friends. I love in-person fantasy drafts, man. It bricks me up. So everybody enjoy your Saturday. If you got fantasy drafts this weekend, hope you knock it out of the park. Pick some Buccaneers on your team and fire the damn cannons. 8 days away from kickoff. Touchdown, 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 Bucky Irvin. Bucs win, Bucs win. And so do the Buccateers. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Until then, everybody have a great college football week 1 and don't do anything we wouldn't do. I'm just kidding. Have a great weekend. Oh, my God. Feet are out. What the hell's going on? Time to get out of here. Bro. I don't know what's going on with the intro, but bro, we'll put it like that. What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
awesome.
It was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coe! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
But how was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just say, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like he's got the ball yet. First NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's just so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, yeah, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory! What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those. one of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house tonight. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Stunna bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little.
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, hey, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Bruton, once he took over Richmond Camden, still like, but look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then kind of make us do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers of wide receiver Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers. You're tapped in, and here we go.